Welcome, everybody, to Lion Strong, the place where you get to become who you were designed to be. My name is Lyonel. I'm the host of the show. I want to thank you for joining us this week. I am excited about having you on board today because I want to talk about some of the questions that I've been receiving so much from you guys out there, especially the over 40 crowd that's trying to figure out what to do and how to do. So I want to take a little bit of time today to just kind of help answer these questions for you, give you guys some specific advice that you can absolutely utilize right now, wherever you are, to be able to get started on your fitness journey if you haven't begun one already. Or if you're looking for ways to improve what you're doing, hopefully some of these answers will help you with some of this. So some of the things that I get asked all the time is about how do we start exercising and what to do and all of those kind of things. So let's talk about that. One question that's super, super common from everyone is, I want to start exercising, but how often do I need to do that if I want to get in shape? Because from the things that we hear is you got to exercise every day, or there's this no days off mentality and all the rest of that crap. So I'm here to kind of set the record straight for you guys about what's needed. If you want to be able to get results, I mean physical results, where you can see the difference, feel the difference in how you move, how you do things, and where you are and everything, you need a minimum of 2 days a week where you're actually exercising. Now, ideally, you want to exercise 3 days a week. If you can do 4, I'd probably go there. But for the majority of you, it is absolutely not necessary to do more. I repeat, it is not necessary to do more. Now, does that mean you can't do more if you wanted to? Of course you can. You can do whatever the hell you want. But what I want you to understand is that the requirement for your body to be able to get absolute benefits in strength, in flexibility, in mobility, and everything else that you're looking at is only 2 to 3 days a week. If you're staying consistent and you're doing the right things, that will absolutely get you results long term. And no, you don't need to be doing like all these people going to the gym, doing cardio for 3 days and doing strength training for 4 days and doing whatever the fuck else for all the other days. That's really not necessary. You're not trying to become a competitive athlete, right? You're just trying to maintain a lifestyle that's actually good and healthy, that allows you to be able to play with your kids or your grandkids, that allows you to be able to move in a way that you couldn't before, that allows you to really simply just enjoy your life, right? You lose a little bit of fat in the process, you build some muscle, you get stronger, you're able to absolutely enjoy what life brings you. That's what this is about. If that's what you're looking for, 2 to 3 days a week is more than sufficient to be able to help you get results. Now, if your goal is to become a bodybuilder, or you want to become some professional athlete of some sort, or there's some specific league that you're trying to just get ready and get better for, you might want to consider training more, obviously, because you will accelerate time frame and get you there faster. But that is not something that you should look at trying to control or do for the rest of your life, because honestly, that's really not that sustainable. The people who start and go in 5, 6 days a week training, they might do that for a little while, but then interesting thing happens to the body. Injuries set in, overuse, all those kind of things. And all of a sudden you have a big setback and you have to take times off, like months, weeks, even years. And by the time you get back into it, it's really, really difficult. If you stay consistent with 2 to 3 days, you'll be more than happy with the results that you get, and you'll be able to get to where you want to go. So that's it. That's simple. So now that you know how often you exercise, the next question that I hear a lot is, well, what should I do? Should I be doing cardio? Should I be doing like Pilates? Or should I do like yoga? Or should I do whatever? And, the questions are pretty crazy. And of course, I get here about, well, should I do strength training? And I don't know if I should be picking up heavy weights. I should be working with like light weights and do like a lot of reps because that's going to help me. Stop, people. There's a whole bunch of bullshit science out there when it comes to physical fitness and what you need to do, right? The key is you need to move. You need to be able to help your body engage in ways that it hasn't done before. So you can choose yoga, Pilates, and any of those to do that. The problem is, though, you'll start getting nice and flexy, which is fantastic. You'll start engaging some things and gain some strength in doing that. But you will be limited in your ability to do things based on what it is that you're doing within the realms. For most yoga practices, you're following a specific style, which requires you to go into some specific poses. You get really strong at those poses once you get the gist of it, so to speak. You get really flexible in those areas as well. But what you find is that there's a lack of connection for the rest of your body in other things that can become detrimental down the line. Now, if you're doing that in addition to something else that you're doing for strength, that could work out really well and help you kind of stay both of those things. But to just think that that's going to be a primary mode of training and think that that's going to cover all the bases, fallacy. I wouldn't recommend that for most people. So what could you do? Strength training is obviously one of the things that you want to look at doing. So how do you address strength training? Do you go to the gym and start lifting like all the bros and sisses that you see in the gym right there? Probably not what I would recommend either. The idea and thinking behind that is the way that you move isn't dictated or designed to be able to mimic what you would do in real life. So I would recommend finding someone who specializes in actual movement, learning how to move the body in ways that connects as many muscles as possible when you're doing things, instead of disconnecting like most of the training sessions and training methodologies out there are doing. Why is that important? Again, as we get older, the thing that's more important to me now, even though I love the idea of looking good, I mean, I work my ass off for making sure that I can actually do things, right? But what's really more important to me is how I feel and how I'm able to move in a way that makes people think that, wow, this guy can't be as old as he is. That's not possible, because people that age aren't supposed to be able to move that effortlessly when they do things. That matters to me more than anything else. So I want to make sure that I'm doing things that encompasses and recruits basically as many muscles as possible and gets my body to work as one unit all the time. It feels amazing to be capable of doing things that other human beings struggle with. And I promise you, when you get to the point where you can do that with what you're doing, when you're exercising, that's going to change the way you feel about yourself. That's going to change the way you look at yourself. That's going to change all of the things out there, basically, and give you a sense of, I don't want to say pride, but a sense of fulfillment, so to speak, that you don't really get doing anything else. And the cool thing about it, when you're able to do those things, you get to look pretty damn good doing it too. So it's a win-win scenario. You actually get to look the way that you want to look. So really go about it learning how to move in ways that are absolutely beneficial for you, instead of just trying to quote unquote working in the typical ways that most people do out there. My recommendation. So now comes down to, okay, I decide I want to do this. How do I create a workout thing? I mean, what kind of routine should I be doing? Should I, the things that I hear all the time is, should I be doing legs today and then back the next day and then arms the next day? And let me stop you right there before you continue with that whole rhetoric and thinking and mentality, and just simply ask you a question. How often do you use your legs or your arms or your back or your abs or whatever other parts of your body? The answer is all the damn time. There's never any disconnect in anything. So understand that your body is meant to function as one unit all the time in every single thing that you do. So if your method of training that you want to approach is teaching you how to disconnect your body from itself, you're going to create a whole bunch of dysfunctions that are going to cause issues and pains for you down the line. You probably already have that based on everything that you've probably done in the past. And you definitely have that based on how you move on a regular basis every day anyway. So why would you want to start a training program that's going to teach you to make your body feel worse than it actually does instead of better? What you should be doing, however, is figuring out how to integrate everything together to make your body work as one unit, so that you move the absolute best and easiest possible. You move the most effortlessly because you're engaging as many muscles in your body as possible. When you do that, you get out of pain, you feel better, you get strong as shit, and you're able to do things that make other people think that you're Superman or Superwoman. I'd recommend doing that. So to create a routine that encompasses that means learning about different things that involve movement. So I would recommend looking out to someone that you consider an expert. You want to look at us, by all means, reach out. We'll be more than happy to help you figure out the different things that you can do that can help get you there. Okay. Simple, effective, but absolutely powerful in what it can create for you. So now you know how often you should exercise. You have an idea of what type of exercise you should be doing and how to kind of go about doing that. So another question that I always get when it comes to this is, okay, now that I'm going to work out and I'm starting, so what do I need to eat before I work out? That's a funny question to me. And let me explain to you why I say that. Because every single one of us are different. So what works for one person isn't always going to work for the other. I have some people that have the ability to eat something 5 minutes before they work out, no matter what it is, and they're totally fine with what they're doing. Whereas another person, if they eat within 2 hours of working out, they'll throw up while they're doing what they're doing. I have no idea where you fall in that range. whether you're that 5 minute guy or that 2 hour lady or anywhere in between. But you need to figure that out. So once you do, you can find out what and how you can eat. So for some people, for example, they cannot eat anything heavy or solid before they work out, but they could have something maybe like a shake or have some kind of a drink that gives them maybe a little bit of boost or whatever before they start. Some people could have coffee before they actually work out and they'll be okay with it. It varies based on who you are and how your body responds. So my recommendation, if you want to know what to eat before you work out, start eating something and then see how your body responds. And you'll know very quickly whether or not that's the right move for you or that's an absolute no-no. For some people, back in the days when I used to compete in CrossFit and those, what I found for me is that I can eat banana and peanut butter right before, up to about 10 or 15 minutes before my training session, and I'd be okay. If I ate anything else, I don't care what it was, within an hour of working out, I am having a bad time throughout my entire workout because it's absolutely messing with my system beforehand. But those are the things that I learned, and it helped me during competitions to make sure that I can still get something in my system and get my energy back up without actually like crashing. So figure out what works for you and get it done. Now, the other question that's tied to that is, okay, now I know what to eat before I work out. What do I eat after? And what am I supposed to do? Because the bro science out there says that right after my workout, I need to have a protein shake because that's the only way I'm going to be able to see results. I'm here to tell you that that little myth right there is a bunch of BS. Okay. Now, if you're trying to be a bodybuilder and you're trying to build specific things and you're trying to look a certain way, then yes, there is some advantage in doing that simply because you'll be able to receive that faster than quote unquote going home, cooking a meal and eating it. You can just guzzle something down right away and boom, you get access to your protein. Outside of that, there is no damn benefit to going in and quote unquote having a shake right after you work out to make everything up for you. You can eat your food. My recommendations, if you're going to do that, make sure you get a shit ton of protein in what you're eating. And for some of you, and good amount of fats, obviously, with the proteins that you're eating. And for some of you, depending on how you function or where you are, so to speak, on your journey, you might want to throw in some carbs in there as well, because your body will actually absorb that and process it fairly well, because you just depleted whatever your stores you had anyway. So that's actually a good way to do that. Outside of that, focus on your protein intake. Again, if you don't have access to food right away, or you can't go home to eat, or you don't have food prepared, or you're not going to go somewhere and eat within the next hour or two, then yeah, it might make sense to have a protein shake simply because it actually helps you replenish stuff. But that wouldn't be my first go-to. And that wouldn't be the reason why I do it, is simply because it's supposed to be better. It's not. It's just gimmick. It really doesn't have anything to do with it. But if you're in a position where you deficit, you're in a deficit when it comes to your protein intake, or you don't have the time to be able to go get food, then that can be one way to be able to go after it. All right. So there's that. Now that we've addressed that, you know what to eat, you know how to eat, you know why to eat, you know what to do, you know how to do, you know everything else. The other question that I get asked, which is always interesting to me, is how do I stay motivated? And I understand where that question comes from, because what I realize is that my clients here that train with me never ask me that question, ever. But the people that I don't work with, that train wherever else and do whatever else that it is that they do, I get that question all the time from people that are not training with me. And I had to stop and think about that. And I realized why the question is being asked. For most people, what they do is the same boring, consistent, repeated crap over and over and over again. It gets old after a while. So it's pretty difficult to stay motivated to go do the same things. And I get it and I understand it. So they're not challenged, they're not motivated, so to speak, to keep going. So they have to find something to keep them excited about starting something new, which is why a lot of people are trying out all these gimmicks. Want to join some challenge here and there, or just join this thing that's going to give you a 6-week thing or a 21-day thing or whatever day thing to be able to get going, because that's the only way they can stay motivated enough to keep going and keep going and keep going, because what they're doing really doesn't challenge them in any way anymore. So it just becomes this, okay, I got to do this crap because I got to do this crap. That's not fun at all. What I find that's exciting is that with the way that we train and the things that we do, literally not a single person that trains with me, whether they train remotely or in person, ever ask, how do I stay motivated? Because they're excited as shit about figuring out what the next workout is. What we do is fun, because I realize and understand that what makes me want to get up and come and do this thing isn't because I want to work out. It's because I get to play with things that are absolutely fun for me. And because I'm playing, it's kind of like, yeah, I can come and play today. Of course. I mean, that's cool. It's exciting. It's fun. It gets me up. It doesn't make me like, run away from it. It makes me actually run towards it because it's a lot more fun to do. Because of that, it doesn't matter how difficult it is or challenging it is or whatever. I actually look forward to it. I know that some of the workouts, quote unquote, that I'm going to do are going to absolutely kick my ass in ways that I don't see coming. But yet they're so much fun that even though I am quote unquote dying, I'm loving every minute of it. And there are others that are just simply plain fun and enjoyable and they feel good and my body feels good when I'm going through it. And it's like, wow, this was so cool. This was so much fun. And the same is what my clients get to experience here because of the variety of things that we do and the way that we connect everything together that really makes it work for them. So I would recommend that you find a modality that actually not just challenges you, but makes you feel like you're having fun, makes you feel like a kid again. If you can do that, I promise you, you'll never have to worry about being motivated to do what you do. You'll never be worried about being bored doing your exercise program because you always look forward to going to the quote unquote gym, whether the gym is in the basement of your house, in your living room, or actually physically walk into a facility to go work out. You will enjoy yourself because what you're doing is both physically challenging, mentally challenging, and above all, everything else, it is fun to do. If you can do that, I promise you, you will never, ever, ever have to worry about staying motivated. Cool. Awesome. Guys, it is not a difficult thing. Fitness shouldn't be this battle, right, that we all make it out to be. This should really be something simple and exciting and fun to do. Work out 2 to 3 days a week. Do things that are fun and challenging for you. Do exercises that challenge your brain as well as your body to actually go ahead and do things that you couldn't do before. Do exercises that are absolutely invigorating to you when you do them, make you feel creative and everything else. Create a routine that's not a routine. That's not something that's the same repeated crap over and over and over again. That really gets you excited about trying new things. Do that. Eat whatever you need to beforehand, or don't eat anything. Drink some water or drink whatever else that's going to give you the energy that you need to go through your workout without feeling depleted. And of course, make sure that you replenish with plenty of proteins after. And then just stay in an environment where what you're doing is fun and challenging for you, and you will never get bored and never want to give up and walk away from it. That's how you create a lifestyle that you can do now for the next 40, 50, 100 years if you live that long, right? And enjoy the entire time and not worry ever about being bored of what you're doing. All right, guys, I hope that helped. If you have any questions or there's anything that you need help with, reach out, phone call, reach out to me through Instagram, through Facebook, or any of the other platforms that we have through our website. And I'll be more than happy to help answer any questions you have and help you figure out what to do and how to put things into place so that you get the results for you. All right. Love having you here. Peace out. I will see you on the next one. Love you guys.